Hello, my name is Carmel Hauck. My student number is T00701793. Today I am filming assignment 3, our sub-Q and IM injections. So I have my canine and feline patients here, and I'm going to show you how to draw up our saline that we're using today. So my bag was opened on the 19th. At the top you can see. So that is safe to use. It's within 2 weeks, so we can use it for all of our injections today. I have my syringes and needles that I've chosen today. So for my feline patient, I'll be using 1 cc syringes with a 25 gauge needle. It's a small, quick and easy needle. They don't need a lot of fluid injected, so my smallest syringe choice. And then for my canine patient, I'm going to be using a 3 cc syringe with a 22 gauge needle, just because the skin is a little thicker and the dog is a little bit larger. So I've chosen these. So I'm going to draw up one of my canine injections and one of my feline injections on video, and then I'll do the rest before the injections. So I will grab my 3 cc syringe. So they have a little topper on them. And then I put on my needle, lure lock, pop the air out. And then my bag of fluids, I'm going to alcohol swab. So I alcohol off the injection port, which I'll be poking into for the injection. So I will take my needle cap off. I'm going to inject it into the fluid bag. And for my canine, I am going to do 1 ml of fluid out of my 3 ml syringe. Alright, now I'm going to change my needle. So I have a new fresh one here. I'm going to turn off. Put my new one on. And then I'm going to label my syringe. So I have my syringe labeled canine and just saline, and it is at the 1 ml mark there. And then for my feline patient with my 1 cc and my 25, it's the same process. So alcohol off my injection port again. Take the syringe, attach my needle, cap off. And for my feline, I'm going to use 0.6 mils for the injections. Okay, and then I'm going to switch the needle again, so another 25 gauge. And then I will label it. So my syringe labeled feline sodium chloride, and it is at 0.6 ml. Alright, so those are my injections drawn up, and then I will be back to inject. So this is my canine patient. We will be doing a subcutaneous injection over the right hind leg here. We will be doing our epaxial IM injection, which is on either side of our spine along in the abdominal region. Then we have our semimembranosus injection, our IM injection, which is one of the muscles in the hamstring muscle group on the caudal surface of this leg here. And then we have the quadriceps as well, which is on the lateral side of the leg. This is my feline patient for the injections today. I'm going to do a sub-Q injection over the right front leg. I will be doing a epaxial injection on the epaxial muscles, which are on the flank. And then I will be doing a semimembranosus semitendinosus injection, which is along the caudal surface of the leg in the hamstring group muscles. And finally, the quadriceps injection, which is on her quadriceps muscle right here on the lateral surface of the hind leg. All right, so I have my canine patient. I'm going to do my sub-Q injection. So I'll have them in sternal recumbency. He's kind of sitting already. I have my syringe, so it is labeled canine saline, and it is at the 1 ml mark on my 3 cc syringe with a 22 gauge needle. So I'm going to do it over a hind limb. So this is his right hind limb. So I'm going to pinch the skin, get a bit of skin tent, and then I'm going to see where I'm injecting. We are going to take an alcohol swab, sanitize the area, so I have my skin tent. We are going to be bevel up, so I am injecting underneath the skin. We are going to draw back for negative pressure and check for error in blood. It is a stuffed animal, so I'm not going to achieve negative pressure, but we will pretend. And then I will inject the saline. And then I will recap my syringe. And that was the sub-Q injection. Okay, next is going to be our epaxial IM injection. There is my syringe, so it is a 3 cc with a 22 gauge needle, drawn up to 1 ml. So I'm going to do my epaxial IM injection on him. So I'm going from behind, and I am palpating for his ilium with my thumb. And then I'm going to palpate along for the transverse and dorsal processes. So with my pointer finger on the dorsal process and my thumb on the ilium, I'm going to make a little angle of where I'm going to be poking. So I've localized the muscle here. This is the epaxial muscle, and I will be injecting between my finger blades equally in the middle. So I'm going to prepare my needle again just by having it ready on the table. I'm going to find my landmarks. Gonna alcohol the area I'm going to poke. And then again with my bevel up, I will be injecting at about a 45-degree angle right into the area. Drawing back, looking for air blood. Again, I'll have air, and then injecting. And then we're going to rub it a little bit for him too. Okay, so we're going to do the semimembranosus, semitendinosus IM injection next. I'll have my patient standing up for me, and then I'm going to come from here. I'm going to hold the stifle in place, and then I'm going to push with my thumb caudally, so that muscle is pushed out on the side here. And now I'm going to prepare my needle. We are going to alcohol swab that area while I will be poking. So again, we are firmly pushing that semimembranosus, semitendinosus muscle. And then with my needle, I'll have the bevel up. So we'll be injecting lateral to medial and a little bit caudally. Draw back, looking for negative pressure, which we won't have, and injecting. And we're going to massage that area too. And finally, we are going to do our quadriceps muscle. So we have canine sodium chloride. Again, it is the 1 cc syringe drawn up to 1 ml with a 22 gauge needle. So we are going to do our quadricep. So I will prepare my needle. We are going to be standing again. We're going to come over from the top here. I'm going to hold that femur in place, and then I'm going to be poking distally to where I'm holding. So we are going to locate that quadricep muscle and hold it off. We're going to alcohol swab the site. And then again with our bevel up, we will be injecting into the dog's quadricep. Drawing back, looking for negative pressure, and then injecting. And we'll rub that area too. Okay, so I have my feline patient. I'm going to do my feline injections now as well. So we'll start with our subcutaneous injection. So I have my labeled syringe, feline sodium chloride. It is a 1 cc syringe drawn up to 0.6 mils with a 25 gauge needle. So I'm going to go sub-Q over the front limb here, the front right limb. So I'm going to make my skin tent on my area. Alcohol where I'll be poking. Prepare my needle. Okay, and then again with the bevel up, we will be injecting under the skin, and we will draw back to look for blood or air. Again, there's going to be nothing just because it's a stuffy, and then we're going to inject. So the lumbar injection, I'll have my cat in sternal recumbency. I am going to find my landmarks, so I'm going to put both hands on my ilium, and then I'm going to put a pointer finger onto the dorsal process of the spine, and I'm going to make kind of a grid for where I will be poking. So I'm going to poke in between these two into that apaxial muscle. So I will prepare my syringe, alcohol. So I'm going to alcohol swab the area where I will be poking. So I'm going to alcohol swab the area where I will be poking. And then I will be holding with my bevel up. With my bevel up, we are injecting into that muscle at a 45-degree angle. Drawing back to check for blood or air, which we wouldn't have, and then injecting. And we're going to rub that area for her too. Okay, so we're going to do our semimembranosus, semitendinosus IM injection on our feline. So again, we'll be in sternal recumbency. Well, you have our syringe. It is labeled feline saline 0.6 mils in a 1 cc 25 gauge syringe. So I'm going to hold from around. I'm going to secure that stifle joint in my hand, and with my thumb, I'm going to push caudally to pop out that muscle in the back here, the semimembranosus semitendinosus. I am going to alcohol swab the site where I will be injecting. We are going to take our syringe. So with the bevel up, we'll be injecting 45 degrees into that muscle. And inject. Yeah, I will. And we're going to rub that muscle. And then we're going to do our quadriceps muscle as well. So we have our last syringe, feline saline. There is 0.6 mils drawn up in a 1 cc 25 gauge needle. Right, so we are going to be standing, but she won't be just because she's floppy. We'll pretend. So we are going to secure that quadricep muscle in our left hand with that femur grasped tightly here so that we have the quadricep muscle presented. And we will be injecting at a 45-degree angle into that muscle. So we will take our bevel up once again, inject at a 45-degree angle into that quadricep. We're going to draw back and inject. And rub that muscle for her.